is a Mercedes Sprinter van. Well, sort of. Started life as an extended 2500 high roof van and has now been transformed into a luxury limousine that you legitimately can stand up in the rear. So what does $166,000 in a van actually get you? Well, first off, you can go to the bathroom in it. I guess you could actually go to the bathroom in any vehicle, but this is a little bit more appropriate and clean. It's got front quilted leather seats like an S-Class, and you can haul 11 people. Clearly, this is not your average $44,000 extended Sprinter van, although there are some things that obviously remain the same. 5-speed automatic transmission, 3-liter turbo diesel, making 188 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 happens in literally nobody cares. This model is rear-wheel drive, but you can get it in all-wheel drive. Honestly, the real magic happens in the back, however. So we're gonna go back there and show you what it's all about. You do have some amenities in the front for the driver. You would never buy this vehicle to drive it yourself. We've got a cooler up here for the driver to have beverages. You've got an amazing screen with navigation as well as controls like turning on the internet, turning on satellite, and check this out, we've got the partition button. So you can raise and lower that. You can also control the partition in the rear in case the people in the back don't want you to hear their conversation. We've got microphones here when the partition is up to communicate with people in the rear. We've got a speaker here so you can hear them, as well as speakers back there so they can hear you. Surprisingly, it's not actually that difficult to drive. It's obviously a massive vehicle. The mirrors are enormous and you have no rear visibility whatsoever. It's got a nice backup camera, and honestly, it's not all that intimidating to drive. Because of the gross vehicle weight rating, you can drive this with a normal driver's license. Well, it's rear-wheel drive, so skirt, skirt. Nope, nothing, nothing. Whew, that was a 20 to 40 pull, and about the slowest I've ever experienced. The real magic is obviously in the interior. Midwest Automotive Designs decked out the interior of this van to a level beyond anyone's comprehension. This setup here costs about $90,000 for the renovation, and that is on top of the normal Sprinter van price. The total, $166,000. So what do you get for that? Well, first off, when you build a van like this, the custom tailor-made approach to it is nothing short of designing a house or a private jet. You legitimately pick a floor plan, and if that floor plan isn't good enough for you, you can customize it even further. This floor plan, we've got 2 captain's chairs as well as a bench seat like a limousine, so you've got 7 seats there, 2 here, and 2 in the front. You've even got tables in the rear in both captain's chairs, in case you fancy playing a game of chess, doing business, eating, drinking, or whatever you want. You've got tons of controls as well, located throughout the entire vehicle. We've got accent lights that can go on and off. From my seat, we can turn all the lights off. It's pitch black in here now. Well, not really. Turn those back on. You can control the passenger shades. This one's going down. You can also control more than one shade at a time, have all of them go up and down. Let's lower the leg rest here. You can get massaging seats if you want. Really, the sky is the limit. Whatever your budget is, they'll get it done. We've got an iPad controller here that basically controls everything in the vehicle. It's awesome. We've got an application here. Let's select the rear TV, for instance, and put it on Apple TV. That should turn on. We don't have the Apple TV plugged in right now, so let's do Direct TV and set a channel. Look, we are literally watching TV right now. There's a giant TV in front of me. You can turn that on with the front TV setting. We've got light controls. We've got reading light. Turn that on and off. Partition, you can control that with here. Bar lights. Let's go ahead and turn those off. And you can turn the speakers as well as the center beam, which is the coolest damn thing in this entire vehicle. Popped on over to the other side because why the hell not? In a van like this, let's control all of the shades at once. Let's click that, and now I am fully isolated from the world around me. Like I mentioned previously, we've got a partition that you can control from the front and rear. If you do shut the partition, the driver in the front can't hear you, but you've got an intercom system that records your voice, sends it to the driver, and they can hear you through the speaker. Likewise, you can hear through the speaker up here what they are saying if they need to communicate with you. The crazy thing is this vehicle has some of the amenities that a normal Mercedes sedan offers, like lane keep warning. If the driver veers out of the lane, it gives you an indication to tell you to get back in. It can't steer itself like the S-Class, but that's okay. The indicator even chimes a sound back here so that people in the rear can know if the driver is being an idiot, and then you can yell at them.
In case you don't feel like having 11 people in your Sprinter van, of course you can convert this into a bed. Not really, but it's plenty long for somebody who's 6 feet tall to lie down. This is insane. I mean, I can literally stand up in this thing. If you're less than 6'3", 6'4",
You've had no trouble standing up. Now, this is crazy. If you're into bar-related activities, this van has been spec'd really, really nicely. You've got bottle holders, and not just for fits, but for 1-liter bottles. You've got a champagne holder as well. We've even got an ice chest here, and it's got a hole in the bottom, so when the ice melts, it actually just pours the water down onto the road. How cool is that? The toilet, however, does not just pour the waste on the ground. It has a tank underneath, and you can go to a septic tank and release it. Eddie, can you just shut up, okay? Jesus. I'm telling you. Well, we've got ourselves a driver now, so let's see what this thing is like on the road. You can hear the turbo diesel a little bit, but it is pretty isolated. Compared to something like a Maybach or a Rolls-Royce, there's definitely a lot more squeaking and rattling. I mean, this is a bus and you're adding all this stuff into it, so to get everything perfect is a lot more difficult. But in terms of being a comfortable experience, this is definitely incredible. And it does feel stable, like you could walk around in it and head to the bathroom if you need to. You've of course got handles up here. They're even illuminated in blue, which looks really nice. In terms of how much the van actually moves around, I've got my camera on a tripod in front of me, so I'm hoping it doesn't fall over, but it seems like it's pretty well composed. Obviously, you don't want to put a champagne glass filled to the top on this table, but if you're drinking something casually or not being too crazy with things that can tip over, you should be just fine. The windows are very tinted in the back here, and I'm guessing that is legal since it is a cargo van and not a normal car. So you can't see into the windows at all. It eliminates glare and sunlight. You're not gonna bake in here. You've got your own climate control. It's very, very easy to use, located over here. Overall, for $166,000, what else is out there? You can get an S550 Maybach that's coming out. You could get a used Rolls-Royce Ghost. This is definitely a very niche market vehicle. I mean, most people aren't going to require anything close to this. But if you are looking for something to be driven around in, this isn't something you would ever want to drive yourself. And you want to hang out with your friends, you want to take people to parties. I mean, this is way more luxurious than a party bus. It's incredible the amenities that it offers. This is really not a bad deal for what you're getting. I mean, when you think of an S550 Maybach, that is around $166,000, and how much more space and how much more customizable options and layouts you can choose in something like this. And in a Maybach, you're probably not going to be driving it yourself anyways, so it might as well be huge. I really like this thing. I had a blast doing this review.